As you can see by the crowd here, I mean, Doctor Who resonates with so many people, and everybody is super passionate about the show for different reasons. Everyone has their favorite Doctor, everyone has their favorite companion. You guys, the mother-daughter relationship you guys had, I want to start by talking about that. But first, I want to invite everyone to line up at the mics. It's a packed house, and we're going to get through as many audience Q&As as we can. So while you guys do that, let's talk about the first time, Alex and Karen, that you guys met. Did you guys understand the full dynamics of the relationship, and how did that kind of play out?
I did not know the dynamic between the characters at all when we first started working together. However,
well, no, I didn't know either.
Really?
Not when we first started. Not like that first episode.
I thought you knew from like the beginning.
No, not at all. No, you were just his companion, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah. Right, that's
not just his companion, but
yeah.
it was only what was it? The second season? Was it our second season that it all started to kick off, or was it the third season? I can't even remember.
It was the second one.
It was the second season, yeah.
Yeah.
But certainly, I think it was the end of the first season that I think Stephen started to intimate that there was a closer connection between myself and Karen. And then I definitely knew quite a bit before they did about what the relationship was. But when I first met Karen, you were very shy.
Yeah.
And I just remember you with your long hair and your red sweatshirt. You wore that red baggy sweatshirt.
Yeah, it was that episode, the Angels two-parter.
Yeah, exactly.
That we shot.
Yeah,
We were like,
and we shot. That was the first episode that actually they ever shot, because the BBC wanted to film it out of sequence to give Karen and Matt a little bit of a chance to just relax and become accustomed to being the new companions. So they actually shot that season out of sequence. Because the Weeping Angels episode actually, I think it was it episode 3 and 4?
I think it was like a 4 and 5.
Or 4 and 5. So we did 4 and 5 first, but those were the very first episodes that Matt and Karen ever shot. And so Karen was certainly, you were very sort of quiet and...
I mean, I was just trying to take in what was happening. I was like,
yeah.
What am I doing in Doctor Who? This is pretty weird, but amazing.
Okay, so very little was known in the beginning, but as it evolved, I mean, did you just kind of each have to go with the flow of, you know, the dynamics, and you realizing, obviously, River and the component she played, and with time being so wibbly wobbly?
Yeah, I mean, well, we kind of got quite used to Stephen Moffat not telling us anything in advance, so that just became like a normal thing. However, we, at some point, knew that Alex knew. And then me and Arthur were like, oh, just give her another glass of wine or something. It didn't work.
All right, well, good try, though. Good try.
Yeah, I mean, I tried.
All right, let's start over here. Do you have a question, sir?
To any doctor? Oh, I would go back to the very first one. And I think I would just be in the background of the very first episode, not doing anything, just there.
Just enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably like to go back to Sean Pertwee. Was it Sean Pertwee? John Pertwee. Sorry, Sean was his son. That's something else. I'd like to go back to John Pertwee, because he was the one who had the fabulous car, didn't he? He had that fantastic car, so I think I'd like to have had a ride in his car.
Great question, thank you. Yes?
When you fought Weeping Angels, why didn't you just wink?
Smart, and should have thought that earlier, especially me. That would have been a good way out.
Yeah.
I'll relay that to Moffat so he can...
Exactly. I think we're going to we're going to ask Stephen Moffat why that wasn't ever considered.
Good point. Thank you. Yes.
All right. First, I'm a little nervous. I'm in front of two of Doctor Who's greats right now, and this one's for Alex. I remember now. How is it when you first started playing the end of your character's life, and then all of a sudden in Let's Kill Hitler just being like, oh, now I gotta play the beginning of the character. How is it like that?
Well, obviously I knew it was the end of my character's life when I did that the first episode I was involved in, but because I thought that was the only storyline I was ever going to have, those 2 episodes, it didn't sort of mean anything to me other than I just had to play that storyline. And subsequently, coming back, I've just learned that the best thing to do is just be in the moment in whatever episode it is, because it's just too complicated to try and figure out where I am in whose timeline and my own timeline. So I just live in the moment. And actually that works pretty well.
One small request. Can you say spoilers?
Spoilers.
Yes.
So this is a question for both of you, but which episode did you have the most fun filming?
That was weird. For me, it was the 11th hour. Just because, as we were talking about before, we just started to really relax into the roles. And it was cool because we were establishing the characters, and I just feel like it was the best episode from Stephen Moffat because I think he had that written since he was like a little boy or something. Like that's the story he always wanted to tell, and he finally got to tell it. And so it sort of made the episode extra magical, I thought.
And I'm not sure. I mean, I'm still going on. So I'm not sure whether my favourite episode has occurred yet.
We love to hear that.
Although the Christmas special is actually, it's pretty fantastic. Stephen's written an amazing story. But I, in terms of actually filming with Matt and Karen and Arthur, I loved every single one because they were all Stephen's for a start, because he never would allow any of the other writers to write for my character. So they were all guaranteed to be brilliant, which they were. So I don't think I could pick a favourite actually.
Yes.
So this is for both of you. When you were filming with Matt, what was one of the, like offstage or on set, what was one of the most kind of like funny, crazy moments that you've had with him?
Funny, crazy Matt.
There's just been so many. He is the most clumsy person I've ever encountered. I think he went through like 12 sonic screwdrivers. I don't know, didn't you have a funny story when you had to land on him?
Yeah, my funny story, many of you may have heard this already, I'm not sure, but the very first episode that I was working with Matt, where he first meets River, she's flying through space and he opens the TARDIS door to let her in. And I flew in, I was on a wire and I had to fly in and sort of land on him, but I landed on him and kneed him in the nuts. And I laughed, and I thought he was laughing too, but in fact he was sort of grimacing and somewhat crying. But we were firm friends after that.
Great introduction.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is for Karen.
Yes?
So now you play both a human in a sci-fi and an alien in a sci-fi as Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy. What was it like transitioning in perspective from human to alien?
Oh, that's an interesting question. It was quite weird playing an alien actually, and I'd gotten really used to being in alien world as a human. So my sense memory walking onto Guardians was like, I know this sort of thing. I've been on so many spaceships, I've got this. But I was like, okay, to humans. So she had little tics that maybe felt a little bit off and not human-like, and head tilts and stuff, and weird blinking.
But you do that anyway.
Yeah, this one was closer to myself than the humans I played. And also the makeup really helped in Guardians, like that sort of did half the job for me, and shaving my head was sort of like a transformational thing that just helped me change in some way as an actress.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes?
Hi, oh god, that's what my voice sounds like. I'm so sorry, I'm nervous, this is my first Comic Con. First, you guys are just so amazingly talented, and I'm such a big fan, like I'm shaking, and I'm gonna have like an asthma attack. I'm sorry, I don't think this question has been asked yet, it is, I'm sorry. What's your favorite moment in your character's history where you're like, oh, and why, and you're like, these guys are badass, or a turning point, or anything like that? Thank you.
Favorite moment in your character's history?
We had some cool moments. Many. For me, it was actually the last episode. Just the stuff that I did with Arthur was really cool, I thought, and quite heroic with the building. Sorry if you haven't got to that yet. I'll stop talking now. But I thought it was cool.
I thought the episode that you did, I thought you were amazing in it. That episode where you are by yourself and you grow older.
I played the old version.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, I learned that I don't age well, so I've been really healthy ever since.
Thank you. Great question. And welcome to your first convention, by the way. Yes.
Okay, first off, wow, that was really loud. Okay, first off, thank you so much for coming to Rhode Island because you didn't have to and you did it anyway. And my question is, when you first found out River's song was Amy and Rory's daughter, what was your reaction?
That's fantastic. It's going to so screw them over. It's going to be a bit difficult for them to understand, but I thought that was just fabulous because it was so, I mean, it's so typically Stephen to come up with an idea like that. I don't think anybody's ever done something like that before. Talk about playing with time. And, oh my God, I mean, in a way, I don't know whether he said they've ever broached the subject before, but it means that there was sex on the TARDIS. Which, it's a children's show and everything, BBC, but they...
Their wedding night, to be fair, makes it
Oh,
somehow
yeah.
better.
Wedding night? But it's the TARDIS, you know, there's a bedroom. Or maybe not, maybe a toilet, who knows?
Where it happens in the TARDIS.
So I thought it was absolutely fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I was like, this is so cool.
In fact, it was inside you. Isn't that strange?
And on that note, yes.
If either of you ever got to play a Doctor Who monster, which monster would you be?
Well, Matt always says that I should be a silence because I already look like one.
And you wouldn't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably be one of those.
I think I'd like to be a Silurian.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
A lizard? Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you. Yes.
Hi!
Hi.
What was the hardest part of leaving Doctor Who?
The hardest, it was really, really cold while shooting in Wales, in castles, which are fridges, essentially. But other than that, it was great. So I'm just really clutching at straws to find a bad thing. Because we got to run away from monsters for a living. Like, that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. I think whenever we had to film on on location, so exteriors, in the winter time and at night, doing a night shoot. I think that was always the hardest, because inevitably it would be raining or sleeting or snowing, and we'd be working right through from about 5, 6 in the evening till about 6 or 7 in the morning sometimes, and it would be very cold and wet and all of that. So that's probably the hardest, but like Karen says, the payoff is that you're working on Doctor Who, and you know ultimately it's going to look really good on the telly when it's all edited together, so you don't mind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello. What did I ask? Sorry. I was actually wanted to ask because I know Karen has been getting into directing. I just saw Conventional, which was, oh my God, so damn good. I'm looking forward to it. And I just wanted to ask both of you, what has been the most rewarding project or thing for you as an actor or a director or a writer, either on Who or off?
Most rewarding as a director, writer, or even an actor?
Well, for me, being an actress, Doctor Who was really rewarding just because the thing you get with television that you don't get with films is just so much time with the character to really sort of develop it and take it to all these different places. And a film you get like under 2 hours to tell a whole story, so that's what I like about TV shows. But directing is really fun just because you get to be involved in the entire creative process from start to finish, and that feels really satisfying at the end of it to like begin with a thought in your head and then suddenly you can watch this physical thing. It's so cool.
And I think having a role that is really satisfying and that you can sort of put so much into I find incredibly rewarding. So the fact that I was given the opportunity to sort of develop the character of River Song over episodes, and the same with On ER, being able to develop a character like Dr. Corday was it's rare. You don't get those opportunities very often as an actor. But in terms of the most sort of singular, rewarding experience or creatively enriching experience, I think it has to be, I played Lady Macbeth just recently, and because that each performance is the beginning, the middle, and the end. You know, it's the play in its entirety. Each night, it was just the most incredible experience, and in an extraordinary production. So I think that for me was probably one of the highlights of my career.
I would have loved to have seen that. And everyone should check out Conventional. It's on YouTube, so everyone should see that. It's great.
Thank you.
We will.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm a huge fan. You guys are amazing. You guys can probably tell I was like